the truth is that we've been fooling ourselves for a very long time. That we have not been importing labor. We have been importing labor, and we've been importing a lot of labor into the country. It's just that we have not been importing them directly. How have we been importing them? We have been importing them by ceasing to produce locally and importing. So what we've effectively done, for example, the situation where we had Goodyear producing here, is that we stopped producing tires with local labor, and then we started importing tires that were produced with labor from overseas. So all we've done basically is fool ourselves that we have not been using overseas labor, and it has gotten us in some serious problems. If we had had an open door policy where we invited skilled labor to come in, just like the US was built based on migrants, right? We would have had a much more productive and a much more rewarded labor force in Jamaica today. But what have we done? We've sought to close it, and we have, and these are double standards. We have as a country said, oh, whenever the US, for example, raises an issue of immigration, oh, why don't they want us to go and work there? And all of us go there, as Butch says, from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, we go overseas and we work over there, and we think we have a right to go there, and we go and build those countries. But we don't want persons to come here and build Jamaica. So, we have created such an issue for ourselves. In 2013, the IMF agreement says that if we want this country to move forward, we have to address labor market reform. We haven't done it in 10 years. Labor productivity has been falling every year since 1972, with the exception of about 3 years in the 1980s. What also has caused CARICOM not to work? Because we've failed to adopt the single market and economy, which is a movement of labor. And the Caribbean is one of the poorest countries in the region, because we don't allow the most productive labor factor to go where it's needed to build it up. We think of it as breaking it down. No, it is there to build it up. If you carry imported labor that's more productive into the country, then the people around you are going to get more productive. If the people around you get more productive, then people are going to get more money, because we're going to be able to demand more money for our exports, right? Because of higher productivity, and people benefit. But we've chosen not to do that. And because of that, we're in the situation that we are today, with labor productivity falling more and more and more. And the problem that we have now, when we think that, oh, we're going to clamp down on employers, and we're going to ensure that employers don't take advantage of workers. It has been happening. What happened is that because of the restrictions you put in place, then we move to this contract labor. What does contract labor do? Contract labor restricts the benefits that people get, because people don't have long-term pension, people don't have health care, right? And at the same time, we are promoting, by doing that, the importation of lower costs because of high productivity imports. Food items, for example, we're importing $1 billion worth of food every year. If we encourage productive labor in Jamaica, we could be importing only $200 million, for example. And the $800 million US would have been made here, which is labor input. But we've chosen not to go that route, and that's why we are here today. And that's why I think that inviting labor into Jamaica, especially when we have an economy that at 4.3%, you basically can call that full employment by definition, is definitely the way to go, or else we're going to be struggling at 1 to 2% growth every year. And the persons with capital will get richer, and the persons without capital will get poorer, and that's just reality.